one statement, one company, and premier service you can trust.
It's the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Mike Newell along with John Barrett and Willie Farrell for the 2A championship game. And I mentioned a little earlier, college football, high school football. This has been a busy place. There are 8 football games here this weekend. 5 from the Iowa High School Football Championship Series. Tonight, Northern Iowa against Eastern Washington, the R.C. Cola Bowl for the junior college performers tomorrow at the Unidome. Last weekend, you don't think 8 was enough this weekend. There were 6 last weekend. What a building, huh?
It's a great facility, great opportunity to play indoors and nice artificial turf surface and perfect facility. It's a great thing that Northern Iowa has had the Unidome here, and it's been the site of some outstanding athletic events, and we hope this is another one here, the 2A championship between Mount Vernon and Iowa Falls.
Rick Arenas will kick it off for Mount Vernon. The Mustangs in their home purple with white trim. The Cadets from Iowa Falls in their road whites with black and gold trim. You see Rick Arenas deep to receive for Iowa Falls. Matt Stockdale along with Danny Kruger. And this one is underway on the short kick from Cedar Falls and the Unidome. And on the return, it's Iowa Falls out to the 36-yard line. And good field position for the Cadets in their first possession as the Cadets get the bring back by Reggie Vetrano. And now in possession number 1 of the game, we'll take a look at the starting lineups here. As 11-1 Cedar Falls with a number 10 state rating makes its 4th trip to the state playoffs and its 3rd straight overall. And over the ball is Aaron Stensland. Going to hear a lot about him this afternoon. Hand off left side and fighting off the tackle will be Matt Stockdale, sophomore running back. Chris Pisarek makes the stop, and the pickup will be, well, let's call it 2.5 yards. We'll make it 2nd and 7. A look at the defensive starters for the Mustangs from Mount Vernon, defending 2A champions. 2nd and 7. Motion right, and the handoff goes to the motion man. That'll be Al Mulick, junior running back. Battles his way past the 40 and out to the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4.
I think Coach Gary McElmurray is making a statement early. We've heard so much about the passing game for Iowa Falls, and the first 2 plays are running plays. So they're going to see what they can do on the ground early on. But this might be our first passing situation. 3rd and about 5.
Here's Iowa Falls, the option right. Stensland gets the pitch out, and the ball shakes loose of Ben Armitage.
And the Mustangs have recovered. Mount Vernon has the ball. Matt Meyer, number 27, able to corral the ball before it went out of bounds. Good job by Meyer because the ball was awful close to the sideline there, and he tracked it down. Here it is, tough pitch by Stensland. Timing was off as Armitage was a little too close to him.
Armitage, and the turnover on the exchange from Stensland. And possession number 1 now for Mount Vernon. Here come the Mustangs. Matt Meyer, going to hear a lot about him this afternoon. 11-1 is Mount Vernon into this one. Working out of the wishbone option. Working against the 4-3 defense of the Cadets. After the pickup of 3, it's 2nd and 7 from the 48. Hand off left side. Well, it was Meyer right side, Meyer left side. Short of the first down, and it'll be 3rd and about 1.5 yards.
And tackle there by Reggie Vetrano. Vetrano doing a good job. We'll be talking about Travis Centers on the defense, middle linebacker. He's being recruited, definitely a Division I prospect. Nebraska's looking at him, and he's in pretty heady company. We all know Nebraska's undefeated right now, so that's a good program. If they're looking at Travis Centers, he's got to be a good high school football player.
Out of the bone, it's 3rd and 1.5 yards, and stacked up on his 3rd straight carry will be Matt Meyer with Travis Centers of whom we speak, making the contact. He'll be all over the field, Centers will.
Good timing to mention Centers, and there he is making his first impact in the ball game. Ironically, in the game last year, in the semifinal game, the Mount Vernon won 6-0. Centers was injured and was unable to play, so you know he has a little motivation today being able to play in this championship game. He hopes he can be a difference maker for Iowa Falls.
Matt Meyer will kick it away from the 35. That's Danny Kruger to take it at the 15, and he's rattled out of bounds at the 22. Second possession.
Iowa Falls dodging a bullet. They had the initial turnover, but their defense was able to hold Mount Vernon, so that's a good sign for Iowa Falls.
Iowa Falls averaging 34.5 points a game out of that double slot run and shoot offense. You're working against the Mount Vernon 5-2. First and 10, and the flag goes down at the snap. Officiating crew in this one, out of Storm Lake, Roger Barr, Lanny Grigsby, and David Skibstad from Storm Lake. And out of Palmer is Mitch Osborne. Take a look at him.
Dead ball, approachment, defense, first down.
And that's Roger Barr in action. First and 5. On the offsides. 2A title game this morning, 3A title game this afternoon with South Tama and Spencer. Handoff into the line. Stensland getting it off to Stockdale.
We saw that graphic there. Iowa Falls averaging 180 yards passing per game. They're usually more productive through the air, and they've yet to throw a pass, ironically enough, so far.
No gain. It is second and 5. Yeah, Stensland puts it up. 1,400 regular season passing yards. He has 7 touchdowns in the playoffs. Going way upstairs. Puts it up in the rafters, and trying to bring it down was Danny Kruger, split end.
Ryan Wiesler in coverage there for Mount Vernon. Kruger had 8 catches in the semifinal game for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he'll be the man Stensland will be looking for. He's his favorite receiver.
Third and 5. Stensland in the straight drop back. Gonna tuck it in to the 30. Angling to fumble. The first down, it shakes loose, and the recovery is made. You know, he was past the first down marker. And then with it shaking loose, I don't think they're going to get a first down out of it. It's going to be 4th and inches.
I think they're going to be a little short. Matt Stockdale very alert to fall on the ball. But the advantage here is that Iowa Falls will get to punt it away instead of having Mount Vernon taking over at the 32-yard line. So kind of a catch-22 situation there for Gary McElmurray. His player had the first down. Stensland had it. That was a straight quarterback draw, design play there.
Luke McDermott. Ryan Wiesler are deep to receive the punt from Centers, Travis Centers, who releases from the 20. Wiesler with the fair catch at the 34-yard line. And possession number 2 now for Mount Vernon. Both these teams appearing a bit cautious in the early going.
Well, Iowa Falls was able to survive that early turnover. They almost had another one, so they have reason to be cautious. Maybe they should be a little bit more cautious, perhaps, than the Iowa Falls side. Mount Vernon playing close to the vest on offense, not able to take advantage of the field position on the initial possession, and now they have it at the 35. Still decent field position for the Mustangs.
From the wishbone, first and 10. First guy through, Matt Meyer, junior running back, 185-pounder, stacked up after a pickup of about a half yard. This is the 10th playoff appearance for Mount Vernon, defending 2A champions. And you see Jim Bellamy, staff on the sideline, and you know, we joked about Greg Purnell and Lindmeyer. He comes to the state championship game so many times, he's got his own parking spot here at the Unidome. Ditto for Jim Bellamy, now in his 25th year. The Mustangs head coach, 10th playoff appearance. Pitch out right side, and that's going to be...
They'll have a fumble, and Iowa Falls
going to
has the
shake
ball.
loose.
We'll have to look at that.
That was Weisler. That was Weisler around the right side. Centers. Comes up with the football. Let's take a look at it.
I wonder if the ground might not have caused that fumble. That's what Jim Bellamy is saying. He was down. His knee was down. He was down.
Come on now. He says, give me a break.
Here, let's see it.
Weisler will go right around in. Out of that wishbone formation.
Good call. The ball was bouncing out before it was down. So good call by the official.
Centers on the pickup, and on the turnover, Stensland sets him down for the third possession. Can't turn the corner, Ben Armitage.
Stensland uses both hands on the pitch out. You don't see that all that often. And we saw a mistimed pitch earlier in the game, so I think passing, the forward pass, is Stensland's strong suit as opposed to the pitch.
2nd and 11. Line of scrimmage, the 37-yard line. Stensland puts him down. He'll set up at the 45. Over the middle in heavy traffic. The intended receiver was Matt Bloom.
And Kip Sitzmore, number 73, had a chance at it. In fact, he looked like he had a better chance at it than the wide receiver. The wide receiver turned into a defensive player there and was able to knock it away.
Ben Armitage coming in with the play from Gary McElmurray. 3rd down. Motion is Armitage. Straight drop back, Stensland. Got his man. Well enough for the first down as Danny Kruger brings it in and rattles out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
I'm sorry, Mike, but we do have a penalty on the play, and we'll see if this one's coming back. Might have been illegal procedure against Iowa Falls, so it may go for naught.
Pick up his 12 yards. Aaron Stensland, 5'11" senior. Kruger on the pickup. Stop is made by Luke McDermott, and here's the walk-off.
Motion, offense, 3rd down.
So the procedure penalty. Add some motion, and we'll set up at the 42-yard line. Have to get down to the 26 for the first down. So it's 3rd and 17. Stensland in the scramble is brought down.
Adam Flockhart made the tackle, and when it's 3rd and 16, I don't know if the play action is really an effective call right there. It might be better suited with the straight drop back because Mount Vernon was not fooled. They didn't buy the fake in the line. And there you see Flockhart coming in and making the tackle. So the fake to the running back really didn't fool Mount Vernon on 3rd and long.
Everybody in the joint was looking for something to go into the rafters, right? Here's Centers with his 2nd punt. He'll release from about the 34. Weisler will back up on the football inside the 20, and a good roll for Iowa Falls. It'll go dead at the 13-yard line. And now a 3rd possession here in the first quarter for Mount Vernon. 4.5 minutes remaining. First quarter action. Now Centers apparently getting a real good look from the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
He has a good leg, too.
Yeah, he does. No run back here. Wide to the left side on a 1st and 10. Dave Allard. McDermott right side into heavy traffic. Couldn't get rid of the football. He loses 3.
And it was Kruger in on the stop, number 15, doing a good job from his defensive end position of containment. You'll see it right here. They fake into the line. McDermott has to keep it, has no choice.
And it'll be 2nd and 13 from the 9-yard line.
Both teams.
Iowa Falls will tell you this is where we want you.
especially since Mount Vernon's fumbled once already. So another turnover down here, they'd really be in trouble.
Vance Ellison is quick right, the handoff into the line.
And Centers read that one very well. The fake didn't fool him. Travis Centers making a nice hard stop.
That was Aaron Lone. trying to find some running room left side. That'll bring up third and long. Line of scrimmage will be the 8-yard line. Let's go downstairs. Willie Farrell.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, you guys, that between these two teams, they average over 70 points a game. And we're almost done with the first quarter, and nobody's across the goal line yet.
Yeah, they're getting a bit cautious. Here's the pitch right side. Ryan Weisler out to the 20-yard line. Short of the first down. And deep in the hole, Mount Vernon will have to punt it away. Yeah, both these teams are cautious. Last year they met in the semifinals in a 6-0 ball game. Mount Vernon the winner. Mount Vernon going on to win the 2A championship.
And the difference in that game in the semifinals, Gabe Allard blocked a punt, and Mount Vernon got the ball on the 8-yard line, and they were able to push it through for a score. So I think Mount Vernon's going to have to concentrate trying to get the ball outside. Centers from the middle linebacker position, they're going to find tough going up the middle. They're going to have to bounce it outside to have some success today.
Matt Meyer gets a high one upstairs to the 40-yard line. That's Kruger out to the 47-yard line. And now a fourth offensive possession for Iowa Falls.
Good punt coverage there by the Mustangs. Iowa Falls trying to set up the return and set up the wall to the right side, but return man was not able to get outside. Nice containment. And a swarm of Mustangs there on the stop.
So here's Iowa Falls, wide to the right side. Will be Kruger. Stensland plants the foot at the 40, puts it up. And the reception for Matt Stockdale. Stockdale. Boy, that's just laying it up and letting your intended receiver get underneath it. The sprint was underway.
Nice lead pass there by Stensland. You can see him get past the defense because he simply had to catch up to the ball. He laid out, sold out, dove, and held on. Great hands there by Matt Stockdale.
Right side, Danny Kruger. Matt Bloom is left. Kruger to the right flat and a bit too tall.
Good job by Stensland on that play. One play previous to lead his man. As you saw, he had some Mustangs in his face, and it was a nice accurate throw by Stensland, throwing it the only place he could.
Take a look at that set of numbers on Mount Vernon. Now you know why you've got an 11-1 team defending your state football championship here in the title game with 90 seconds remaining. First quarter. Here's the option left. On the receiving end from Stensland.
Stockdale again. He's all over the place. He's catching passes and he's getting the ball on offense from the wingback position. Able to bounce outside and get positive yards. There he is, and the wingback in motion. Stensland just keeps it as long as he can, then he pitches it with the old two-hand push.
3rd and a yard. This is an underclass backfield with the exception of the senior quarterback, Aaron Stensland. Ingebrigtsen is a sophomore. Stockdale is sophomore. Armitage and Mulick are both juniors. Stensland back to the line of scrimmage, going to be close to the first down at 3rd and less than a yard.
Gabe Allard on the stop, number 87 there.
I wonder if he wasn't trying to center the ball for a possible field goal attempt. Ben Reed handles the honors. Doesn't look that way as Al Mulick comes in with the play. 4th and less than 1. So this could be an early game turning point with 51 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Oh boy!
Not this time.
Oh boy! I don't know. He didn't look like he had it initially, and then Stockdale did a good job to keep his legs turning, but depends where they mark it, because initially he was stopped, but the whistles did not blow, and Stockdale stayed with it. We're going to have a measurement here, I think.
Sophomore Matt Stockdale belts into the line.
Everybody out there to play to the whistle.
They're going to have to come out and, well, they said no, he didn't get it.
1st and 10 the other way.
Mount Vernon holds. There's a good shot of it there.
Rather than 1st and 10 this way, you got 1st and 10 that way. I think the whistle blew right as he hit the 15-yard line. And his forward motion was
after the whistle.
Yeah, was a bit after. Now from the wishbone, here is Mount Vernon from the 9-yard line, left to right in front of us. That's Lone on the handoff, out of the bone.
That play has had trouble today. I don't know how that play's really going to work. Iowa Falls been defending that one pretty well. But you have to run certain plays to set up other ones, so you have to keep the defense on. Lone does not have many carries this year, but when he does carry, he has a 10-yard per carry average. So,
yep, you got to honor that kind of threat. And after one quarter, this remains a scoreless ball game. It is Mount Vernon and Iowa Falls battling it out for the 2A championship. Don't go away in a 0-0 ball game. We've got lots more action right after this.
You're gonna see the light. We're gonna see you through. You know we do things right. We're always there for you.
Wherever Iowans gather, more are covered by the plans of Blue Cross and Blue Shield than any other.
Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues. Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues.
All set for quarter number 2 in the 2A championship game. Mount Vernon and Iowa Falls. The Mustangs and the Cadets were scoreless. Cadets advancing at the expense in the first round of the 94 playoffs. 16-8 over Dallas Center Grimes in the semifinals. 54-3 over Missouri Valley. And then 40-12 over Emmetsburg to get the ticket punched to this championship game. Now Mount Vernon left side. This is Lone. Crunch. That'll be Stockdale. No, let's see. Nick Winters to make the stop on him. The other side of the coin, Mount Vernon advances, beating Maquoketa Valley Delhi in the first round, 34-6. Mount Vernon then beating Wapsie Valley, number 2, 14-7. Then number 1, Solon, 13-12. So all Mount Vernon had to do is beat the number 2 team and the number 1 team, both previously unbeaten, to get into this championship game to defend the title. I guess you could say that's deserving as McDermott turns the corner.
Well, Mount Vernon definitely deserves to be here. I think right now the advantage might swing to Iowa Falls. They come in with the ability to throw the ball, and they're showing some success running the option. Right now we know Mount Vernon is strictly a wishbone-oriented team, and they may have to go to the air a little bit just to balance things up. So Iowa Falls right now with a more balanced offense.
Meyer will punt it away for the third time. Short of the 10-yard line, he releases from the 8. And in Mount Vernon territory, it fails to cross midfield, but a pretty good punt. Whistle dead at the 47-yard line. Now, I should mention that when Mount Vernon beat Solon in the semifinal round, that avenged an early season loss to the number 1 Spartans, 28-14 back on October 7th.
That was a big game last week at Solon.
Oh, yeah.
Those are 2 neighboring towns, and they take their football seriously. That's a big rivalry, and there were over 5,000 people at that game last week. Big victory for Mount Vernon.
Wrestled down is Matt Stockdale, the 5'11 sophomore, and to make contact on him is Scott Pospisil.
Boy, you can see there why Mount Vernon's tough against the run, allowing just 61 yards rushing per game.
2nd and 10. Stensland, sprint out right. Look out! Crunch! Bryce Chapman.
Boy, quarterbacks hate that being hit from the backside. Stenson was rolling out looking for a man. I think everyone in the stadium, except for Stensland, knew that
That's
Chapman
right.
was bearing down on him. And we all were feeling sorry for Stensland before the play even finished, because, boy, there's Chapman running him right down from the backside. Big play for Mount Vernon.
Yeah, he's the only guy in the joint who didn't know.
So 3rd and almost 20.
3rd and a fair piece. Stendlin will go upstairs. Got his man coming out of the backfield. That's Ben Armitage. He goes out of bounds right at the midfield stripe. And with 8:54 remaining in first half play.
Mount Vernon is a big play defense. You see the sack on the previous play, and that set up things here to, even though the completion was made, it's well short of the first down. So Gary McElmurray, the head coach for Iowa Falls, feared Mount Vernon's big play capability on defense.
Centers releases from the 37. McDermott and Weisler are deep, and the fair catch is called for. Weisler on the receiving end. And this has been a battle of field position. Two teams that can put some points on the board have been very cautious in the early going. And let's put the whistle around the neck of one John Bear here. If you're on either side of the field, how do you get something going here offensively? Because defensively, you know that they already know they can stop each other.
That's right. They played last year, and it was a 6-0 game. And actually going about it cautiously may be the way to do it. Mistakes might decide this one. And so staying close to the vest might be the wise thing to do, especially here for Mount Vernon down deep in their own territory.
Luke McDermott, pitch back left side. Weisler to the 15. Pickup of 2, maybe 3 hard yards.
And we said earlier that Mount Vernon's had trouble gaining ground through the middle, and they're going to have to bounce it to the outside. It looks like when they've pitched it, that they might have an opportunity to get a lot of yards, but it's only a gain of 2 or 3. So Iowa Falls doing a great job on defense.
2nd and 7, the 15. Mount Vernon in its 5th offensive possession. Right side this time, and shaking loose past the 20-yard line. Finding a crease. Off tackle will be Myers.
We might have a hold on this play. It might be coming back with a penalty.
Matt Meyer.
That's what it is. On the replay, Meyer doing a good bit of running, keeping his body falling forward and churning those legs.
Reggie Vetrano was the first one to him to deliver the hit.
And this is where Mount Vernon does not want to be, down deep inside their own 10-yard line, down at the 7, facing a 2nd down and close to 18 yards, I guess. So 2nd and 14. Tough situation for Mount Vernon, who does not like to throw the ball anyway. I'm sure they'll be conservative again here.
From the bone, it's 2nd and 15. Turning the corner right side, this will be Weisler. Got some green. You bet he does. Past the 30. Now the 40. Midfield, and he's rattled out of bounds as he penetrates Iowa Falls territory inside the 45-yard line. And on the breakaway, now you're going to get the teams to take a look at each other and say, how'd that happen? They knew it was coming sooner or later.
Well, when I said they play it close to the vest, actually this pitch is a dangerous play because it's right down near the goal line there. And you have to have a lot of confidence in your players to call a play like that. They've been running the wishbone all year long, and it's not necessarily a chancy play if you have confidence in your team. And they were able to bang it out there across midfield. Big play for Mount Vernon, biggest play of the ball game.
Vetrano and Winters finally run him down. But yeah, the end around finally gets some green for Mount Vernon. Now you know Iowa Falls is going back to the X's and O's, and so we can't let that happen again.
Well,
and Mount Vernon says it's going to happen again.
Well, Iowa Falls defense might have been thinking what I was thinking. They won't pitch the ball. They'll take it up the middle here. They don't want to do anything foolish down deep. And Mount Vernon was able to turn that to their advantage. Good shot there of the Mount Vernon fans.
Round of applause for Ryan Weisler, who gets the biggest gain of the football game thus far. 7:10 remaining. Second quarter action. We're scoreless in the 2A championship game, Mount Vernon and Iowa Falls. But Mount Vernon with the big breakaway. Now in Iowa Falls territory. 1st and 10. This will be Lone. Picks up a yard, maybe 2.
And every time they run up the middle, it's Travis Centers, number 35, who's not only making the tackle, but delivering some blows while he does it. He's a very tough football player. 6'2", 208-pound senior. It's a pretty big high school player, especially on the 2A level. Weren't too many 200-pounders when we were in high school, Mike.
No, there weren't. Not many at all. I guess when you look at that kind of size, he's not what you'd call oversized, obviously. Travis Centers at 6'2" and 208. It's the lateral movement and the quickness that's built into that kind of frame that has been the big difference. They're better fed nowadays, I got a hunch.
And they have weight programs and things even at the 2A level. And
that's right.
One thing we should mention about these teams is they're under 300 students in attendance in the 10th through 12th grades, so about 30% of the boys at the high schools are on the varsity football team. So that's a big turnout. Football very important at these programs, and it's very important to the towns. So a lot of school spirit for Iowa Falls and Mount Vernon.
3rd down. And 8. McDermott will go left. This is Lone. Inside the 40-yard line. Not enough for the 1st down as it comes to the 36.
Decision here for Jim Bellamy. It's going to be 4th and about 3. They've got the ball at the 42-yard line. Of course, they had the ball down near their end zone. They had the big run by Weisler. So do they want to take advantage of it and go up for it here on 4th and short? Or do they want to just punt it away?
Mount Vernon, quite obviously, is a running football team. That's what the Bone's all about. McDermott attempting 76 passes, completing 50. Not a bad percentage at all. 445 yards, though.
Well, Mount Vernon's not going to get the 1st down. Went for it there on 4th.
Not this time.
Good penetration there. There was a fumble by McDermott, and the Iowa Falls defense holds and gets the ball at midfield.
That's the gamble that didn't pay off. Now 1st and 10 the other way. The Cadets.
Big play there by number 71, Jeremy Brown, for Iowa Falls, forcing the fumble and then recovering it. So good play there by Jeremy Brown.
This will be the 6th possession of the 1st half for Iowa Falls. And the defensive struggle continues. The turnover here. 1st and 10, 48. Shendlin has to get rid of it before the back coming out of the backfield. Pass had a chance to turn around. That was Kyle Ingbertson.
Tom Rickles almost intercepted it. We have a penalty flag on the play, too.
Well, we'll take a read on the penalty and pick it up on the sideline with Willie Farrell. Willie?
Well, bad news is that Mount Vernon lost the ball, but the good news is number 84, Weisler's all right. On the long run he had, tired, fell on the ball. It kind of like punched him in the stomach a little bit, but he's fine. He's back out there playing.
Thanks, Willie. And Weisler back into the lineup.
Did not look like a serious injury. He probably didn't
ran
lose
across
his wind.
the field, yeah.
Holding. Here. 1st down.
I believe he did fall on the ball. I could believe that.
Yeah.
That'll take the wind out of your sails for a while.
Line of scrimmage will be the 32-yard line. The walk-off here, boy, it's 1st and way back. Right now with 4:49 remaining in 2nd quarter play. It is Mount Vernon nothing and Iowa Falls nothing. Don't go away. Plenty more to come from the Unidome.
Like everyone who buys home and auto insurance, I want the best value for my money. As president of the Allied Group, I'm proud to tell you we're doing something about it. It's called Premier Service. It's more than just fast claim service. It's our promise that you'll receive Premier Service in every contact with Allied. As one of nearly 2,000 employee owners, I can assure you it's our pledge to be your #1 company in customer satisfaction. Allied Group Premier Service. Without it, all you have is insurance.
And this afternoon, 1:30 the kickoff for the Tigers and the Trojans. Spencer in South Tama, Class 3A championship activity. It is 1st and 27. Stensland, got his man at midfield. And on the receiving end will be Matt Stockdale out of the backfield.
Nice catch for Stockdale, another big one for him. And the advantage.
Flag is down.
Another flag. Mount Vernon fans are clapping, so it should go against Iowa Falls.
Yeah, there's your holding.
Nice look here at Stensland on the rollout, throwing it in the seam there. Stockdale holding on.
So another holding penalty coming up, and that'll negate the gain of 17.
Offense, still first down.
And going that away is Iowa Falls. Now they've got to get to the 42-yard line in Mount Vernon territory. Ball is spotted at the 16.
We talked about a fur piece before. This is a really fur piece, Mike.
1st and 43. Think of it.
Quarterback draw.
Stensland tucks it in. Back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. This may be a state tournament record, 1st and 43. Come on.
Well, between these two teams, if any team could pick it up, actually Iowa Falls has the offense with the passing game that would give them an opportunity, but 43 yards is an awful long way to go. So the key to keep your drives alive or to avoid the penalties, that's for sure.
Now 2nd and 40. Swing pass and into the flat, but met immediately on the reception is Kyle Ingebrigtsen. Sophomore running back.
Read well there by Matt Meyer.
Yeah, Matt Meyer came up to make the stop.
Pass hung up in the air for a while, gave Meyer time to close quickly.
Well, in that swing pass, you allow the rush. Hope your defenders come past the football. And they did indeed that, but it didn't fool Matt Meyer. Wide to the left side will be Matt Bloom. Motion. And in heavy traffic, here's Iowa Falls. Stockdale, the man in motion.
Gabe Allard on the tackle.
Yep.
Might have been a case if you had a quick punt in your repertoire, might have been the place to pull it out. You're not going to get a first down on 3rd and 40. And Mount Vernon didn't have anybody back. Might have been a wise move to do the quick kick there on 3rd down. And element of surprise, especially with this artificial turf. Ball might have bounced quite a ways. So
what kind of rush we going to see here with centers setting up at the goal line?
Mount Vernon with 2 men back, so setting up the return looks like. Nice kick by centers.
McDermott. Gonna turn the corner.
Well, we have a late flag there. And traditionally you would expect a clipping penalty. Ironically, I didn't see too many blocks by Mount Vernon. It was more of a great play by McDermott with sheer speed to bounce outside. Okay, we're going to have a clip here. Watch the upper left corner, number 27 right there. Meyer on number 80 for Iowa Falls, Rocky Robbins. And there's the clip, and all of a sudden Mount Vernon had the ball near midfield. They're back to their own 34-yard line.
Indication on the clip here. And Roger Barr of Storm Lake. Line of scrimmage will be the 34-yard line.
Penalties a key so far. Both teams having trouble getting it going offensively, and they're stopping themselves with the penalties.
Scoreless first half thus far. Weisler on the handoff past the 35. Picks up a yard and a half, maybe 2, 2nd and 8. Yesterday, a long day of football with the A championship decided. West Bend Mallard. The 1A championship, Hudson goes home with the hardware. And the 4A title, Iowa City High wins its 2nd straight. Like now in the 2A title game, Mount Vernon looking for a second straight title against Iowa Falls. Scoreless first half, and from behind, Centers catches up with Weisler.
Sheer speed there by Centers. We'll see that on the replay. He closed very quickly. He knew the pitch was coming. He just cracked down from his middle linebacker position and closed that play off. There he is, 35 in the left upper corner. Watch him shed the block there and just come down and make the tackle. Travis Centers, great play, and he's playing with reckless abandon. As we mentioned, he missed the game last year when Iowa Falls lost 6-0 to Mount Vernon, and he hopes to make a difference in this game.
33-yard line, 3rd and 11. And the clock winding down to the 1-minute mark. Plenty of activities at the halftime break.
Down to 1 minute here in the first half. Mount Vernon to kick it away on 4th down. Clock running.
Meyer will kick it away to Kruger, who's on the receiving end at the 30, maybe. And putting a fork in it as it rattles around for Iowa Falls, or for Mount Vernon rather, is Scott Pospisil. Great punt coverage for Mount Vernon, and a huge turnover in the late going of half number 1. Now the question is there enough time on the clock with 34 seconds remaining to capitalize on the deep turnover? Kruger. Now you're going to see Pospisil, and great punt coverage. There he is. Right man at the right time in the right place.
Well, great coverage there. I know that, we're going to take a break here, and we'll be right back as Mount Vernon tries to score.
For the first time on television, Cable Lock Incorporated introduces Cable Lock, a multi-purpose Velcro strap. This revolutionary design allows you to keep cords, cables, and hoses organized and separated. In minutes, Cable Lock can take a tangled mess and turn it into an orderly system that's easy to use. The Cable Lock is designed to attach easily to any cable. Just place the cord in the channel, press the flap over the cord, and push it through the ring. The Cable Lock is now attached to the cord and can't be lost or misplaced. Cable Lock can be used on garden hoses, jumper cables, hand tools, snow and water skis, household appliances, camera tripods and bags, pant leg binders for hiking and biking, sleeping bags, camping gear, fishing rods, and more.
Through this special TV offer, get a 10-pack of your choice of colors in red, black, blue, yellow, or green for $15.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling. These Velcro straps are perfect for wrapping any common cord found at home or in the shop. Call now at 1-800-829-4275. Have your Visa or MasterCard ready, plus get information on other Cable Lock products. Call now.
Nothing ball game, and trying to change that in the late going of the first half is Mount Vernon. Jim Bellamy has talked to his Mustangs. Let's see what they come up with. McDermott 1st and 10. The 31-yard line. Lone coming out of the backfield.
I think the key thing to remember here, Mike, there's now 25 seconds and counting. Mount Vernon does have a strong field goal kicker. Rick Arenas won the championship here against West Britt Hancock just last year in this very Unidome with the field goal. So Mount Vernon may not be looking for a touchdown here, but to get enough yardage to set up a field goal attempt. And they throw their first pass of the game, and it's a completion. Nice coverage there.
And Reggie Vetrano, who's going to get my Chevrolet Player of the Game for the first half alone. His kid's been all over the football field. And that was after the pickup of 4. So it's 2nd and 6. And you have to think of the kicking ability of Rick Arenas. He handles the field goals, the point after, and the kickoffs.
I would think Mount Vernon would need about 7 more yards, get to the 20, set up maybe a 37-yard field goal attempt. I think that is stretching Arenas' range, but he could do it, especially down here running in late in the half. So they need at least 7 more yards, which is right near the first down flag. And Mount Vernon will still have 1 more timeout remaining to set up the field goal. So
both these teams, 11 victories and 1 loss into this championship game. We're down to 21 seconds in the first half, scoreless. Mount Vernon with McDermott over center. Lays it up, got his man Wiesler, touchdown. Mount Vernon capitalizes on the turnover. And on the 28-yard hookup, Luke McDermott to Ryan Wiesler. Yep, you just lay it up where you can get to it, right?
I think the difference, the wishbone's been stymied a little bit, and it's ironically, all of a sudden here late in the half, Mount Vernon throws their first two passes of the game, and they're both completions, and it's the touchdown pass for Mount Vernon that gets them on the scoreboard.
Luke McDermott to Ryan Wiesler. And the kick for Rick Arenas is up and it's good. All righty, 15 seconds remain and it's 7-0. Mount Vernon leading Iowa Falls back right after this.
Beautiful pass there, look at that. And Mount Vernon has the lead.
And we'll be setting up for the kickoff. Boy, I'll tell you this, late first half dramatics on the fumble recovery.
Well, the key might be if Mount Vernon can pass compared to how Iowa Falls is going to be able to run the ball. We mentioned Mount Vernon with the wishbone likes to run the ball, and Iowa Falls with the passing attack likes to air it out. Which team could take advantage of what there necessarily is not their strong suit might be the difference. And Mount Vernon strikes through the air, and that's the difference right now, 7-0. As you mentioned, Mike, though, the big turnover late in the first half on the fumble punt by Kruger at the 30-yard line. And field position, very important, hard to sustain long drives as both defenses are dominating. So anytime an offense gets the ball, gets good field position, that's a big advantage, and Mount Vernon was able to take advantage of that miscue.
Here's Iowa Falls with the clock ticking down in first half action. And the return here for Matt Stockdale. 9 seconds remain. And I think you mentioned earlier, Coach Bear, that it could be the turnovers that indeed determine this football game. When you've got a defensive struggle, you've got to measure turning points, and that was one. And we've got the end of the first half. And Mount Vernon, looking to defend its 2A championship, will go into the locker room with a 7-point lead. It was a scoreless defensive battle before the turnover and the hookup between McDermott and Wiesler. And as we head to the half, it's Mount Vernon 7 and Iowa Falls nothing.
Hello, Iowans. Max here for the Iowa Lottery's 10 new scratch games. No need for cue cards. Play Hula-de-Hoop.
Hoop-de-doo.
Queen of England.
Queen of Hearts.
Cool Country Cats.
Cool Country Cash.
Boingo Boingo.
Bonus Bingo.
High Rollover.
High Roller.
Croquette.
Roulette.
Megaphone.
Mega Bingo.
Maniac.
Zodiac.
Seasoning Salt.
Season's Greetings.
And my favorite, Max Money.
Mad Money.
11 fun new games.
10 new games.
Well, can't a fellow make one little mistake?
Play the newest scratch games from the Iowa Lottery and have more fun for the money.
Gonna see the light. We're gonna see you through. You know we do things right. We're always there for you.
Wherever Iowans gather, more are covered by the plans of Blue Cross and Blue Shield than any other.
Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues. Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues.
At last, the whole idea of satellite television has come down to earth. Introducing PrimeStar. PrimeStar sends the best of cable, pro sports, and hit movies to these new small dishes. There's no equipment to buy or maintain. PrimeStar's a service that does it all. All starting at the down-to-earth price of about $1 a day. PrimeStar, now coming to your area.
This presentation is brought to you by the Allied Group, one statement, one company, and premier service you can trust. And by First Star Bank, smart local money management.
The Unidome in Cedar Falls is the host to the Iowa High School Football Championship Series. We're in the fourth game of 5 to determine who's going to carry home the hardware. Yesterday we crowned 3 champions, 2 more today, and we're at halftime of the Class 2A championship game, and defending champion Mount Vernon, the upper hand on Iowa Falls. 7-0 on the late first half turnover on the fumbled punt. And then the hookup, the pass and completion of 27 yards. Luke McDermott to Ryan Weisler, and that's the name of that tune. They capitalized, didn't they?
The ironic part was Mount Vernon not throwing a pass all game, but they had the ball with only 34 seconds remaining, and time was of the essence, so they had to go up top. Perhaps they should approach it from that perspective most of the time. They might have a little bit more success. I think it's important for Gary McElmurray's team, for Iowa Falls, to stay confident. I think maybe they have to go back to the passing game. That's what got them here into this position, and they can just avoid some holding penalties when they go back to pass. I think they've had some open receivers, and they have some things that they can take advantage of against the Mount Vernon defense. But Iowa Falls lost to Mount Vernon last year 6-0, and now they trail at 7-0. So it's very important for Gary McElmurray to instill confidence in this team. They're only down by 7. It's a defensive struggle, and anything can happen.
Mount Vernon making a 10th trip to the state championship, the playoffs, and a 6th trip to the state championship game, the title game. Looking for a repeat here after beating West Hancock of Britt 22-21 last year. Iowa Falls making a 4th trip to the playoffs and a 3rd straight trip as well, and I think it's worth mentioning these two teams met in the semifinals last year, with Mount Vernon the winner, 6-0 over Iowa Falls. Let's take a look at the only score in this football game to this point. Mount Vernon in its 7th possession, looking for its 2nd straight pass completion after staying on the ground all the way. This is Luke McDermott, puts it upstairs, getting underneath it is Ryan Weisler. Weisler hooks it up into the end zone. You got a 6-0 ball game. The Rick Arenas extra point makes it 7-0, and that's where we are at the halftime break. Stay tuned for more from the Unidome. Halftime continues.
Like everyone who buys home and auto insurance, I want the best value for my money. As president of the Allied Group, I'm proud to tell you we're doing something about it. It's called Premier Service. It's more than just fast claim service. It's our promise that you'll receive Premier Service in every contact with Allied. As one of nearly 2,000 employee owners, I can assure you it's our pledge to be your #1 company in customer satisfaction. Allied Group Premier Service. Without it, all you have is insurance.
For the first time on television, Cable Lock Incorporated introduces Cable Lock, a multi-purpose Velcro strap. This revolutionary design allows you to keep cords, cables, and hoses organized and separated. In minutes, Cable Lock can take a tangled mess and turn it into an orderly system that's easy to use. The Cable Lock is designed to attach easily to any cable. Just place the cord in the channel, press the flap over the cord, and push it through the ring. The Cable Lock is now attached to the cord and can't be lost or misplaced. Cable Lock can be used on garden hoses, jumper cables, hand tools, snow and water skis, household appliances, camera tripods and bags, pant leg binders for hiking and biking, sleeping bags, camping gear, fishing rods, and more.
Through this special TV offer, get a 10-pack of your choice of colors in red, black, blue, yellow, or green for $15.95, plus $4.95 shipping and handling. These Velcro straps are perfect for wrapping any common cord found at home or in the shop. Call now at 1-800-829-4275. Have your Visa or MasterCard ready, plus get information on
for the 3A championship game, and that'll be the Spencer Tigers, the Trojans from South Tama. Pretty good matchup there as the curtain will come down in our high school championship series. Mount Vernon leading here at the halftime in the 2A title game, 7-0. Right now here at the halftime, we're being entertained by the Sumner High School Band. Jefferson High of Cedar Rapids had the opportunity to entertain yesterday, and today we have the
Officiating. How do you choose the officials for this?
Well, our schools tell us the officials that should be working in our state championship games. Each school has the opportunity to tell us who they feel are the best officials in their part of the state, and we tabulate all that information, and we make our officiating assignments based on the school's recommendations.
Now, I've seen some good games this year. I'm sure you've seen a lot of really, really good games. Any favorites stick out in your mind?
Oh, we've had a lot of great games. We had a super exciting game yesterday, the overtime game in Class A, when West Bend Mallard, won in overtime. And we had some great athletes. Newton, when Trey Jackson was playing, put on a great performance in here and had some exciting games. And, of course, last year Tim Dwight had just a fantastic football game. Rob Tyne last night had a great night, and especially in the second half. So there's been a lot of great football games. You play all season and you get the two best in each class, you're going to get some pretty good matchups.
Well, you've done a good job here, and we're having a great time, and I can't wait to come back next year. Thank you for telling us all about it, and let's take it a break.
Group, make sure you get the service.
You're gonna see the
that'll be
This presentation is brought to you by First Star Bank, Smart Local Money Management, and the Allied Group, one statement, one company, and premier service you can trust.
And we're set for second half action. Another 12 minutes go up on the board. And teeing it up here for Iowa Falls to get things underway will be Nick Winters. Deep to receive will be the twosome of Luke McDermott and Ryan Weisler. And on the fly, it's Weisler out past the 35-yard line.
Weisler able to catch that kick on the run and use his momentum to carry it forward to the 35-yard line. Good decision by Weisler. Takes a little bit of courage to come up and field that thing on the full run. Not only courage to have confidence to catch the ball, but also to know you're probably going to take a big lick.
So 1st and 10 in the first possession of the second half. Then it goes to Mount Vernon, the Mustangs. Line of scrimmage, the 36, and here's Luke McDermott in the backfield with Matt Meyer, Aaron Lone, and Ryan Weisler. That'll be Meyer, who draws the crowd right at the line of scrimmage. May have picked up a half yard.
Defenses have been dominating this game. The difference right now, the turnover on the punt and the long pass for the touchdown. Iowa Falls doing a good job of defending the wishbone.
That wishbone option for the Mustangs. And defending against it is Iowa Falls, the Cadets with a 4-3 configuration. Pickup is 1, 2nd and 9, the 37. Wide to the left side will be Vance Ellison. Out of the backfield, the connection is made, but no gain. And that was Weisler.
And Rocky Robbins made the tackle. Robbins was the man who was burned for the touchdown. Weisler was the man who caught the touchdown. So Robbins with a little bit of revenge there, out in the flat making the tackle. Nice look there at the pass out in the flat. Robbins there to close the door quickly, and it's 3rd and 10.
3rd down in Mount Vernon. Up to the line with Ellison this time, wide to the right side. Breaking out of the bone, and Weisler, the end around, past the 40, short of the first down to the 41-yard line, and Mount Vernon will be forced to kick it away.
Nice block out there on the replay. Matt Meyer threw a hard block, tried to spring his man, and disgusted Jim Bellamy there, trying to get his offense untracked. However, he does lead the game 7-0. We'll watch it here. Watch Meyer come out here and lead the block. Boy, he smacked Reggie Vetrano. They hit each other pretty hard there.
Danny Kruger deep to receive on the punt from Meyer. He'll let it rattle inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. And first offensive possession now for Iowa Falls in the second half. Both these ball clubs finishing at 11-1 through the regular season and through 3 games of the playoffs to get the ticket punched into this, the championship game. Good bumblebee contingent over there for the Cadets.
A lot of black and gold in this dome, and there'll be a lot in the Metrodome tonight in Minneapolis as Iowa takes on the Gophers.
Reaching for it, but getting a hand on it was Danny Kruger, but a bit too tall from Aaron Stensland.
I think that's important that Iowa Falls came out and threw right on the first possession. They only had 7 passes in the first half compared to 14 runs. We mentioned they only had 5 yards or no yards rushing. So it's important for them to come out through the air, do what they do best, and try to march it down the field through the airwaves.
Just underway in the second half of action. 2nd and 10. Stensland will sprint left. Sets up at the 5-yard line, going deep, and it falls short of the intended receiver. And the intended receiver was one Matt Bloom at about the 40-yard line.
And Bloom was double covered. Stensland rolled to his right, and he got hit as he threw, and the ball was underthrown. He had a lot of time, but it was a deep pattern. Needed to have a lot of time for his receivers to break open. There you see him get crunched there as he throws, and that's the reason the ball was underthrown. Well covered there by the Mount Vernon defense, as you could see.
3rd and 10 from the 12-yard line. Stensland straight drop back. Goes under the coverage rather than over this time around. And Matt Stockdale out of the backfield will pick up a couple, but no more. Nice. And we'll punt it away.
Nice tackle by Chris Pisarek. We saw him also rushing Stensland very strongly on the previous pass, and he closed the door quickly on that. When it's 3rd and 10, you might be better served to send your receivers out beyond the first down mark, but I think that was a conservative play. Didn't want to do anything foolish down deep in their own territory.
Ryan Weisler and Luke McDermott are at midfield. Releasing from the 5-yard line is Travis Centers. The 45-yard line, and that's McDermott on the fair catch. In traffic. Kid's not shy at all about making contact with the leather on the fair catch in traffic. It's about the worst possible way you want to try to execute it, but I'll tell you this. You want your quarterback in that situation because he's the best ball handler you got.
A sure-handed man, that's very important, and McDermott did a good job of making that catch. There you see total offense, 116 yards for Mount Vernon, and Weisler, counting his receiving and his running, had a 49-yard run and a 27-yard catch. That makes up a lot of the offense.
In Iowa Falls territory, 1st and 10. Weisler gets the call to the 40-yard line, just inside the 40. The pickup will be 5, 2nd and 5, before Travis Centers caught up with him.
Jeremy Brown also in on the stop, number 71. See it here, pursuing the pitch. It's a brutal game. A lot on the line here. Both teams fighting hard for that state championship.
7:45 remains in the third in a 7-0 ball game. Mount Vernon with the lead and the football. Left side, and Aaron Lone is belted down as he crosses the 40 back to the line of scrimmage, but no further. Lone.
That play simply has not gone anywhere today.
No, it hasn't. Lone in the first half had 5 carries and a net of 3 yards. But that's one of those keep you honest type plays. May not get you much now, but it may be setting up another one.
And it might break open later in the ball game. You got to keep running it, keep the defense honest. Lone does not get the ball a whole lot, but when he does, he rambles for some yardage, averaging 10 yards per carry. So
Lone, a 165-pound senior. It's 3rd and 5 from the 40. McDermott will set up at the 45. Couldn't get it to Lone coming out of the backfield.
And it would have been short of the first down anyway.
Pretty good rush put on Luke McDermott. He heard those footsteps.
First incompletion for McDermott. He completed 3 straight, I believe.
Now, sometimes when you hear those footsteps, they aren't there.
That's
but
right.
that time he could hear them coming or see them coming.
Especially on the carpet, you do hear some things there that you don't hear on the grass.
Releasing from midfield will be Matt Meyer. Deep to receive, Danny Kruger at the 5. From the 11-yard line, Kruger goes that way, and guess who? Scott Pospisil, who has a critical fumble recovery in this football game. Great punt coverage again for Pospisil. He had the good coverage in the first half, and on the recovery, that set up the touchdown strike. McDermott to Weisler. Only score of the football game now inside the 7-minute mark. Second possession, Iowa Falls. Second half. Not that time, and the touchdown for Mount Vernon. It is Vance Ellison. Dropping back into traffic was Stensland. Tried to go to the left flat, and stepping in front of the pass is Vance Ellison. 6'1", 170-pound senior who brings it on, and on the return makes this a 13-0 ball game. Let's take a look.
And the ironic part is Gary McNamara, the coach for Iowa Falls, says Mount Vernon uses their defense to score points. He was worried about that coming in, and well, he was well-deserved to worry about it because he sees there that the Mustang defense able to put some points on the board with the interception return for the touchdown.
This will be Arenas to make it 14-0. 6:37 remains in the third. Mount Vernon with the upper hand in Iowa Falls. Don't go away. More action after this.
This is why you buy insurance. And because your agent can't be at the scene of every misfortune, Allied Group makes sure you get the service you need with this, the Allied Group Premier Service Card. Your guarantee that we'll be there 24 hours a day from anywhere in the USA to take your claim and get your life back to normal. It's the kind of premier service you can expect from the Allied Group. Allied Group's Premier Service Card. Without it, all you have is insurance. Allied Group, service you can trust.
Hello, Iowans. Max here for the Iowa Lottery's 10 new scratch games. No need for cue cards. Play Hula-de-Hoop.
Hoop-de-doo.
Queen of England.
Queen of Hearts.
Cool Country Cats.
Cool Country Cash.
Boingo Boingo.
Bonus Bingo.
High Rollover.
High Roller.
Croquette.
Roulette.
Megaphone.
Mega Bingo.
Maniac.
Zodiac.
Seasoning Salt.
Season's Greetings.
And my favorite, Max Money.
Mad Money.
11 fun new games.
10 new games.
Well, can't a fellow make one little mistake?
Play the newest scratch games from the Iowa Lottery and have more fun for the money.
Here's a look from the end zone. You will see Vance Ellison step in front of the pass as Stensland delivers and Ellison delivers, and you got a 14-0 ball game just like that, and the 11-yard interception return. The kickoff Goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line. No chance for Stockdale nor Mulick.
Well, they're waving off the flag. Maybe an Iowa Falls player had touched it.
Yep, apparently so, because we're going to set up at the 28-yard line.
This is the best field position for Iowa Falls in the second half. They've been victimized by bad field position. Let's go down to Willie down the sideline.
Who would ever thought the Mustangs' potent offense would be their defense?
Well, that's a good point. Good point. Going upstairs again, Stensland in heavy traffic and trying to come down with it for the Iowa Falls Cadets is Danny Kruger. He's got a pretty good arm. Gets it way up there, doesn't he?
Very good arm. A nice deep pass. We'll see it here. Stensland on the pump fake. Has some time to throw. Double coverage there. Mustangs not fooled. Up for grabs.
Yeah, Weisler and McDermott. How many times have we mentioned that twosome?
And Weisler has a good pair of hands, as we already know. He's hauled in a touchdown.
2nd and 10. 28-yard line. Stensland again with the man in motion. Over the middle, and he has Kruger this time. The pickup will be 5. It's out to about the 33-yard line.
Nice job by Stensland to buy some time. He was in trouble. Got rid of it just in time, and Kruger did a good job to come back to his man. Had to break off his pattern and come back to the quarterback. There you see Stensland on the rollout. Throws it across his body. And a nice catch in traffic by Kruger.
3rd and 5. And Iowa Falls, snuffed on the ground to this point, is going to the air again. High in the air goes Matt Meyer, up in the air with Matt Stockdale. And you saw the flag come down. He was going for the football, but
he went through the man. Yeah, so that was pass interference, and we'll see it on the replay. Went right through the back of Stockdale here. And nice camera work as you'll see it. Yeah, he's there early. And there's no way Stockdale could make that catch. So a big break here for Iowa Falls as they're close to midfield here at their own 48-yard line.
So the completion goes into the books. On the pass interference, we're at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10, Iowa Falls trying to get back into this one. Stensland, sprint out right. Going under the coverage, and he's got his man again. That is Stockdale out of the backfield. Inside the 40, enough for the first down, and on the move now by virtue of the pass interception call. And the 12-yard completion here, 1st and 10.
You see Stensland looks like he might be a little bit injured. Nice rollout here. Similar situation where Stockdale, look, he breaks off his pattern, comes back to his quarterback, and hauls in the pass and gets a first down. Nothing coming easy for Iowa Falls. There's maybe a late hit there on Stensland. That might be what the Iowa Falls crowd is a little upset about.
Wide left is Bloom. Kruger to the right. The handoff, though, goes right side to Armitage.
Nice call there. They've been passing the ball a lot, and they do a little misdirection in the backfield. They hadn't shown that play yet today. And Coach Gary McElmary pulls it out of his bag of tricks at just the right time. That'll keep the defense honest. And suddenly Iowa Falls is on the move. It's important that they get some points out of this as they trail at 14-0. They got some momentum here, want to take advantage of it.
Inside 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd in a 14-0 ball game. Mount Vernon. Iowa Falls on the move, however. Too tall for the intended receiver. Matt Stockdale out of the backfield. You mentioned that Aaron Stensland was slow to get up. And you'll notice that on virtually every pass play to this point, once he releases, the defender, he's been getting belted. They've been clean. They've been hits because the defender has been in the air at the time of release.
Mount Vernon's been playing clean, but they've been playing hard football.
Yeah, he's been hit. He's been nailed. Into the line, no place to go for Stockdale on 3rd and a yard and a half.
Nice tackle there by Scott Pospisil. It's going to be a little bit short. I think it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Yep, 4th and inches.
Stockdale nowhere to go here. Pospisil right there. You see a lot of Mustangs, a herd of them. Herd of Mustangs right there in the interior line. And it brings up a 4th down and very short. So a critical play here for the Cadets.
Pospisil, Chapman in on the stop. There's a shot of Scott Pospisil. 4th down and inches. Stensland on the handoff up the middle. That was Kyle Ingbertson. And enough for the first down. And Iowa Falls keeps it alive.
And their fans appreciate it. You can hear the Iowa Falls fans getting behind their team. They finally have something to cheer about, and they're getting excited, and that can work both ways. The team getting the fans into the game and the fans exhorting on their team and getting them into it.
Ingbertson, just a sophomore, as is Stockdale in the starting backfield. Stensland, the only senior. And on the receiving end, that's Stockdale.
He's still going.
How about that? At the 10-yard line. Boy, talk about making something out of nothing. The line of scrimmage was the 27. The pickup will be 17 with no place to go. Stockdale found some running room.
We talk about making something out of nothing. Bowen's been tough for Iowa Falls, but they're being very creative here. Another time Stensland's hit as he throws. It's a case of Stockdale breaking his pattern, coming back to the ball, and keeps going. A lot of Mustangs there missed the tackle, and very elusive. Matt Stockdale takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Contact was made once, twice, and the 3rd time he'll be ridden out of bounds. Well, there's 3. And out of bounds, Weisler is cut from behind, and actually Vance Ellison, who scored the touchdown on the interception, is the guy who gets credited for the stop. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. And on the move is Iowa Falls. Matt Stockdale. Hey, take a look at some of those haircuts. You got an angry barber in Iowa Falls with the dues down there.
Well, might have a wealthy barber, because I'm sure the whole team goes down there and gets their hair cut. So
I should say.
That'll keep you in business.
Jim Bellamy surveying the situation. He is now in his 25th year, and he's got to think of the D to try to snuff this sustained drive. The key play was the interception. Matt Meyer going high in the air and went right through the player to get at the ball.
On the pass interference.
Yeah, and that brought the yellow flag. I'm not trying to finger Meyer and blame him because, you know, in some reads, that could have been a clean going after the ball. Yep, he was out of bounds. Wide of the mark, and going high to bring it down was Danny Kruger.
Kind of a tough break for Iowa Falls that Stockdale was down just at the 9.5-yard line. Actually, 9 3/4 line. They'll have to go the full distance to get into the end zone. There you see Kruger got behind his man, and we can't even really tell. With another angle, and this might. He did all he could to haul it in. They run the pitch.
Stensland calls on his man Stockdale again, but no place to go this time around left end. And Mount Vernon's defense has been very, very impressive, and you're taking a look at one of the reasons, Scott Pospisil, who's had a whale of a game.
Playing very well, 5'11", 175-pound junior. And Mount Vernon is bending but not breaking here. It's 3rd down and goal. Iowa Falls very resourceful to this point to get this far. Let's see if they can crack the end zone.
That's Mulick in motion, right side. Sprint out right, Stensland, 3rd and goal. Puts it up. It comes down, and what do we have? Incomplete.
Up for grabs. Stockdale in traffic. We might have a late hit now on Stensland. There's a flag down there at about the 24-yard line. And this looks like that's what we have.
Yep.
We had mentioned that Mount Vernon had been flirting with that all game long. Here's Stensland buying time, rolling out, throws it up for grabs. He's being chased down by 2 Mustangs, and that is a late hit.
That one is going to cost you. He has been getting hit, and they've been clean all the way. That one, though, you've got reason to drop the flag. And we'll wait for the indication. You saw it, roughing the passer.
We didn't hear it, but we saw it.
That's right. If you can read lips, yeah. And it's 1st down.
That's a big break for Iowa Falls.
That's right. You don't want a pass interference when you're down in the near pay dirt like that, because it gave them a clean set of downs as well. And into the end zone, it'll be Kyle Ingebrigtsen, the sophomore fullback. And we got a brand new football game with 2:34 remaining as the sustained drive makes this, my friends, a 13-14-6 ball game.
Iowa Falls doing a very good job. In fact, they got their crowd into it. An inspired performance here. I'd say resourceful is the way to describe this drive because they were just being creative. The wide receivers coming back to the ball, breaking off their patterns and keeping the drive alive.
Stensland is the guy who does the kicking, but going for two. And it's snuffed out there. That was Ellison, who gets his second interception of the game.
And they've all been in the end zone, haven't they?
Right.
One for a touchdown and one stops the two-point conversion.
Not quite the return this time. 14-6 is the score. Mount Vernon leading Iowa Falls. 2:34 remains in the third.
Favorite Max Money.
Mad Money.
11 fun new games.
10 new games.
Well, can't a fellow make one little mistake?
Play the newest scratch games from the Iowa Lottery and have more fun for the money.
2:34 remains, and here's Kyle Ingebrigtsen. 12 plays, 72 yards, well executed, and the 5-yard run. Put 6 up on the board. Now McDermott on the receiving end of the kickoff, past the 30, out to about the 34-yard line. And the second possession of the second half now for, and we'll make it the third possession for Mount Vernon.
Good shot of Jim Bellamy there. Boy, he's been at Mount Vernon a long time. In his 24th year, he's won 75% of his games in 24 years. That's amazing. 173 wins, 59 losses, and 1 tie. Amazing record for Jim Bellamy, looking for his second consecutive 2A state championship.
Weisler past the 35, picks up a couple, but he pays for it. Centers gets to him, as does Reggie Vitrino.
Talked about Jim Bellamy. He won a state championship in 1974, a 2A championship, 14-6 over Garner Hayfield. Then it took him 19 years to get back to the championship game last year, and they won it. So third championship game for Bellamy in his tenure at Mount Vernon. Important for the Mustangs to get their offense untracked here. It's a ball game. They only lead it by 7.
Ellison is split wide right. Bellied into the line, but stopped dead in his tracks. Guess who? Centers.
Centers the center of attention at the middle linebacker spot for Iowa Falls, and he's been in on numerous plays.
That was Matt Meyer. Loss is a yard. Third down and 9. Ticking down to 1 minute remaining in the third. Still a long way to go in this one. Defensive struggle that's beginning to light up. And that'll be Ryan Weisler around right in. We've seen that play before, haven't we?
We have. Been running the pitch wide. There's a penalty flag. Looks like it'll be against Mount Vernon. You see Travis Centers there saying we'll decline it. And Mount Vernon's going to have to punt it away. 0 for 8 now on third down conversions.
54 seconds remain. And that in third quarter action.
Decline, 4th down.
All righty, let's head downstairs as we set up for the punt. Willie?
Hi, guys. But judging by the Mount Vernon crowd, I think the Mustangs are going to have to come up with a pretty big play to get this crowd back into it. They look pretty tired to me.
Getting flattened out in a hurry.
And the ironic part is they lead it.
Yeah.
They're in the lead, 14-7.
Matt Meyer will kick it away. Deep is Danny Kruger. Kruger will wave it off at the 31-yard line. Kruger on the run. Brings it on. And it'll be 1st and 10. We go the other way, right to left in front of us. The Cadets from Iowa Falls matched up against the Mustangs from Mount Vernon. You caught a glimpse of the Iowa Falls supporters on the far side. We've just got a half minute remaining. in third quarter play. Another one coming up this afternoon, slated for a 1:30 kickoff. 3A title game, South Tama and Spencer. Stensland. Past the intended receiver. And that was Kruger.
And double coverage there by Weisler and Luke McDermott for Mount Vernon. Stensland with the pump fake, wanted to go deep all the way. And Mount Vernon had it well defended. Mustangs actually had a better chance at the ball than Kruger did.
Wide to the left side. Matt Bloom. Right side Kruger. Quarterback draw. And out to the 40-yard line, but short of the first down on a 2nd and 10 is Aaron Stensland. And you know the line, he's going to know he's been in a football game when this one is over.
And the Mount Vernon fans want a late hit here on a block by Stockdale. We'll see it here right when Stensland goes down. You'll see Stockdale come in and make the block right there. That's the end of the quarter.
We're on to the fourth in a 14-6 championship game. It's Mount Vernon leading Iowa Falls. Don't go away. We got plenty more to come. You bet.
See the light, we're gonna see you through. You know we do things right, we're always there for you.
Wherever Iowans gather, more are covered by the plans of Blue Cross and Blue Shield than any other.
Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues. Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues.
Those are your numbers, 14-6, as we head into the final quarter with 12 minutes going up on the board. And despite a flurry of offense and a couple touchdowns in the third quarter, this still remains pretty much a defensive struggle, John Barry.
Well, it has been. You saw the graphic there on third down conversions. Iowa Falls has only converted one. Now they just converted their second. And Mount Vernon hasn't converted any on third down, so defenses have been very strong today. And we're in a 14-6 ball game just starting the fourth quarter, but momentum has swung to Iowa Falls. They just scored a touchdown on the previous possession and now have another first down.
Looking for a second title. You saw the Mount Vernon bench. Second straight title. Ingbertson tries to turn the corner in traffic.
I think they're trying to give Stensland a little bit of a break. He's been throwing the ball a lot and getting pounded a lot, and every running play alleviates some of the pressure on the quarterback. He's only 5'11" and 162 pounds, so he's been getting banged around quite a bit. And he's going to be a key factor, though, coming down the stretch for Iowa Falls, because they might run a little bit to keep him honest, but it's going to be through the air that Iowa Falls is going to make their yardage.
Connection to Kruger inside the 35-yard line. Line of scrimmage was the 48.
Nice hook up there, and boy, Mount Vernon always has about 3 people around each Iowa Falls wide receiver, but the receivers know where they're going and they know where the ball is. There you see it. Nice tackle there by Luke McDermott, but not before Kruger has the first down.
After the gain of 18, 1st and 10, the 34. And batting it away is Mount Vernon. And that'll be Matt Meyer in with the breakup. You know, we saw the numbers on Kyle Ingbertson just a few moments ago. Kyle is sophomore and showing a lot of promise for the Cadets. Had 81 carries, 280 yards in the regular season.
Blom was behind the defense there. Stenson a little underthrown.
Here's Ingbertson to the 30-yard line on a 2nd and 10.
Ingbertson with a bright future, and he'll be tough for other 2A teams to stop in the next couple of years.
Cadets with an underclass backfield. Aaron Stensland is the only senior. Ingbertson a sophomore. Stockdale a sophomore. Armitage a junior, and Mulick a junior. Ingbertson on the receiving end.
Well, that play was open. The pass was a little bit off, and to make the catch, Ingbertson had to leave his feet. And they'll bring up a 4th down and short here. Tough break for Iowa Falls, because if Ingbertson gets that ball to him, he had yardage, he had room out there to get the 1st down. So timeout now called by Iowa Falls. They want to talk it over on a 4th down and about 4.
9:43 remaining in the 3rd, with Mount Vernon leading Iowa Falls 14-6. Yesterday we had the 4A, 1A, and A championships decided in Class A. Had a pretty good matchup as West Bend Mallard took home the hardware. 1A, it was Hudson, and in 4A, Iowa City High makes it 2 straight. Willie Farrell's been working with us for a couple days here at the Unidome. And Willie, what's going on downstairs?
How you doing, guys? I'm up in the stands here with Brett Lewis.
Yeah.
Brett's a former alumni of Mount Vernon. You were at the game last year.
Yes, I was.
Do you think how's it look as compared to last year?
Looking pretty good. We had to make a big comeback last year and won it on a field goal with about 23 seconds left. So.
Oh, this is a piece of cake then.
Oh yeah.
No problems at all.
No, smooth sailing. We got one.
I see you got your jersey on, so you're ready to go in at any time.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, it seems a little bit quiet here. I think you ought to get these people pumped up.
I'll try.
Okay. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Willie. He's ready, isn't he? Put me in, coach.
Well, they might use him here. It's 4th down and 3.
4th and 3. Whoa, the flag will go down. Matt Meyer from behind, making contact with Kruger. He tried to get the hand check, but got caught.
Boy, Kruger and Meyer have been battling it out here, and that's the 2nd pass interference call on Meyer. Has had a tough battle for him, putting a lot of pressure on the Mount Vernon defense. This passing game does. Here you get a look at it and away from the camera.
That's your basic hand-to-hand combat, and it'll give Iowa Falls life and a 1st down.
The ironic part, in high school football, it's a 15-yard penalty on every pass interference. Actually, the pattern was probably only 5 yards out on a short slant. So instead of getting the ball where the interference took place, Iowa Falls gets a brick break because it's a 15-yard penalty, and now they're down inside the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 13. 1st and 10. And Stensland dropping back to pass.
A little early movement there by Aaron Blanchard, number 58, bring up a 1st down and 15. Of course, we talk about that pass interference. It can work 2 ways, too. You can throw a bomb for 40 yards and get the pass interference, but you're only going to get 15 yards on the play. So this time it happened to work out to Iowa Falls' advantage.
Inside of 10 minutes, that remaining before Jim Bellamy will be able to take home a 2nd straight championship. He hopes for the Mount Vernon Mustangs. Iowa Falls wants to get in the way of those plans. And Stensland on 1st and 15 to the 5-yard line. And it's incomplete. That was
Stockdale.
Stockdale out of the backfield, has been all over the field in this one.
Stensland threw it about the only place he could. Would have taken a nice catch by Stockdale to haul it in. You see Stockdale sell out, dives, but it hits the shoulder pads and gets stepped on there.
That'll show you, Matt. Mulick is in motion. Stensland looking over the middle. Under duress. And the interception, 2nd of the football game, will snuff the drive here.
Stensland was looking for Bloom to break open. Nice coverage there. Bloom was coming back from the ball, but the ball hung up in the air for a while and enabled Mount Vernon to come up with the interception. You see Stensland here on the rollout looking for someone to break open.
This will be Weisler. This will be Weisler going up for the football. He, of course, has the touchdown grab right there. Timed it pretty well, didn't he?
He sure did. Bloom could have decided maybe to go backwards towards the end zone because Mount Vernon didn't have any defenders back that way. And Weisler makes a nice play.
Now 9 minutes remaining. And from the wishbone, McDermott puts him down.
I don't know if Mount Vernon's attitude right now is just trying to hold on and let their defense win it. There's a turnover graphic. 4 turnovers for Iowa Falls. Tough to win when you have that many turnovers. We saw Linn-Mar last night with 4, and they are unable to overcome that against City High. So tough to win a championship when you have that many turnovers. And the big one was interception return by Vance Ellison for the touchdown, which is the difference right now, 14-6.
8:20 remaining. And the countdown continues. This will be Weisler in traffic around right in before Reggie Vitrino brings him on.
Vitrino took on a blocker and then made the tackle. He punished 2 people on that play. Oh boy, he's a football player. 6'1", 181-pound junior. He'll be back wreaking havoc on the 2A class next year. And he's been brutal on defense for Iowa Falls.
I think Gary McElmurray would be happy with the makeup of this Iowa Falls roster because he's got talent coming back. Boy, does he. Pitch left, and this will be Lone. With the flag going down, he battles his way out to the 20-yard line. And a 3rd and 8.
I think we'll have an illegal block. And once again on 3rd down, Mount Vernon will not convert, and they'll be forced to punt. They have not converted on 3rd down yet today.
Ryan Weisler has the touchdown reception and the interception pass to snuff the drive.
Illegal block against Vernon.
4th down.
7:30 remaining.
I don't know if we'll see it here.
Illegal block.
That didn't look illegal there. It must have been somewhere else. That looked pretty legal there by number 84, Ryan Weisler.
Getting set for the punt. Here's Meyer. Matt Meyer. He'll release from about the 10. Kruger at the 46. Into Mount Vernon territory. The ball is whistled down at the 47.
And again, it's Scott Pospisil on the punt coverage making the tackle. It's been all over the place on the punt coverage for Mount Vernon. He's been getting a lot of opportunities because the Mustangs have punted the ball very often. Jim Bellamy there for Mount Vernon, the head coach.
And here comes Iowa Falls. Motion to the right side, the pitch back to Armitage.
Well, they call it a triple option, but didn't look like Stensland really wanted to run the ball. He pitched the ball. He could have kept it a little longer and maybe even kept it himself. Might have been the best call on that play, but he didn't seem to want to run it.
Pickup is 1, and it's 2nd and 9. Ball is spotted at the 46-yard line. Into the line, that's Ingridson. Catching up with him will be one Scott Pospisil.
Nice gain for Iowa Falls on 2nd down. Got almost 8 on that interior run.
6 minutes remain, just inside 6 minutes and counting. And here's a critical 3rd down with the marker at 3rd and 2 from the 40-yard line.
Good play by Stensland. He kept it.
That's awfully close.
His initial progress, we may have a penalty for a face mask there. It would have been close whether Stensland would have gotten the 1st down or not, but I think we're going to have a face mask against Mount Vernon, and Iowa Falls should get a 1st down.
McDermott coming in for the hit. Face mask.
We're not supposed to hear that.
73 red, Byron Young. Oh, I'm sorry.
Kip Sitzmore. Well, of course, that's just for the coaches to know that. Of course, on TV, we're not supposed to. In the pros, they give a player's number, but in college and high school, we don't do that. However, that would just happen to pick up the microphone from the officials as they tell the coach, because they do have to have accountability and let the coaches know who the penalty is on. So
that's an inertia and momentum face mask penalty. I don't think there was any intention assumed or written into it, but sometimes your motion carries you into that. No place to go, 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line now. Nobody will be able to say with 5:15 remaining that Iowa Falls did not have its whack at it to get back in this football game, because down in this contest by a margin of 14-0, they did score on a sustained drive of 72 yards in 12 plays, but then had the interception deep. Now the pass interference penalty one series ago, and now the face mask penalty keeps things alive for Iowa Falls in the late going, but not this time.
Nice coverage there by Matt Meyer. It's been all over the place today, and on the earlier play, Bryce Chapman for Mount Vernon just happened to be in the right place at the right time to make the stop. Ball's up for grabs. Kruger unable to come down with it. Would have been a big catch for Iowa Falls inside the 5-yard line. 3rd down and 12 now.
14-6 the lead. Mount Vernon at Iowa Falls. Iowa Falls 3rd and 12. And the reception is made, but yep, he was in. No.
Well, we can't tell because the official's changing his mind.
Yep.
First he said out of bounds. Well, I think he said he got hit out of bounds. First he called him out of bounds and said no catch. Then he said, I guess he got hit out of bounds. So the official, you can understand why people were confused, because the official was confused for a while. But there you can see.
That's right.
Wiesler hit him out, knocked him out. So the catch was made. So big play here for Iowa Falls. 1st and goal.
From the 8-yard line, Stensland. Race to the pylon. He got it.
And that was all. Stensland made that play by holding on to it as long as he could. I mentioned earlier, it didn't look like he wanted to run it. This time he was a threat to run it. He held on to it just long enough, then made the pitch and enabled Stockdale to get in the end zone. And right now it's 14-12, a 2-point conversion away from a tie game. There you see Stensland buying time, then gets the pitch to Stockdale, who cuts the corner and dives for the end zone. You think they want this championship? Great effort there by Matt Stockdale to tightrope the sideline and dive for the end zone. And a good call there by the official. And now Iowa Falls will call timeout to talk about it. They trail it 14-12 with 4 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. They need the 2-pointer to force a tie. We're going to stay here, not going to go anywhere. We got ourselves a Donnybrook. Great ball game. A nervous Jim Bellamy relying on his defense to pull it out. The offense has not been that strong. In fact, Mount Vernon getting half their points on the defense on the interception return by Vance Ellison. So he's asking a lot of his defense here to perhaps win the state championship, as if Mount Vernon can hold them and not let the 2-point conversion score, they will remain in the lead.
Oh, it was a race to the pylon, and Matt Stockdale wins the race. Now the 2-point conversion that looms large in this one. And a couple penalties looming large. The face mask on this drive. The pass interference a couple series ago in the touchdown drive, and then the reception where he was apparently out of bounds, but not. Stockdale, same play. Left side, no. Stockdale from Stensland, and this one is going to remain a 14-12 ball game.
And Chris Pisarek there to make the stop. Big play for Pisarek. And if it stands up this way, he'll remember that tackle for a lifetime. They run the same play, going for the 2-pointer. Stockdale, that shows how impressive his touchdown was, because that's a tough go of it against the Mount Vernon defense there. That's tough to run that play twice in a row.
4:35 remains in this one. Long way from over. The Mustangs 14, the Cadets 12. We'll be back right after this.
Iowans gather, more are covered by the plans of Blue Cross and Blue Shield than any other.
Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues. Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues.
There you see it, 8 plays, 48 yards. Taking some time off the clock, and here we go with the kickoff. Mount Vernon with McDermott pass the 35-yard line. And now the name of the game is to take a little air out of the football and wind it down. Well, sustained drive.
Sustained drive. Mount Vernon has not had many of those today. Have not converted on third down very often. In fact, they have one offensive touchdown, really. So if the offense can get untracked here, they have an opportunity to run out the clock here with just over 4 minutes remaining. Be up to the Iowa Falls defense to get the ball back for their offense.
McDermott brings them out. We'll assume that there will be no passing for Mount Vernon from this point forward. Lone turning the corner. Keeps it in bounds. The clock continues to run. Inside 4. The gain is 3. Second. The gain is 2. 2nd and 7.
It's hard to get it on television, but from up here, being able to see it without the television, it's just unbelievable how Mount Vernon runs that pitch. Looks like they have a lot of room, but the Iowa Falls defense just closes so quickly, and you think Mount Vernon's going to get about 5 yards, and you look up and they only have 2. Iowa Falls defense doing a good job of closing down that pitch.
Across the 40-yard line on a 2nd and 8.
And here we go, Mike. Another third down. Third down and 6. Mount Vernon has not converted on one. And they might be able to win the state championship if they could just get this one.
That was Wiesler. Brings up a 3rd and long 5. Clock is wound down to 3 minutes. You see Wiesler. Yeah, you mentioned that it closes down real quick on those end arounds. 2 of the reasons, Travis Centers and Reggie Vitrino. Wiesler will try to turn the corner, and he's not going to get it. Back to the line of scrimmage at the 40. And Mount Vernon will have to give up the football in the late going of this one.
And Iowa Falls calls their final timeout here to save some time.
2:37 remaining in this one. It's Mount Vernon 14-12 at Iowa Falls. We'll wrap this one right after this.
Hello, Iowans. Max here for the Iowa Lottery's 10 new scratch games. No need for cue cards. Play Hula-de-Hoop.
Hoop-de-doo.
Queen of England.
Queen of Hearts.
Cool Country Cats.
Cool Country Cash.
Boingo Boingo.
Bonus Bingo.
High Rollover.
High Roller.
Croquette.
Roulette.
Megaphone.
Mega Bingo.
Maniac.
Zodiac.
Seasoning Salt.
Season's Greetings.
And my favorite, Max Money.
Mad Money.
11 fun new games.
10 new games.
Well, can't a fellow make one little mistake?
Play the newest scratch games from the Iowa Lottery and have more fun for the money.
For the simple reason that kids will be kids. There's Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Iowa. We cover more children and the people who love them than any other.
You just can't beat the blues.
Count on a heavy rush here from the 40-yard line. Mount Vernon will kick it away.
Here you see the totals. Iowa Falls with more offensive yardage, but the most important factor, Mount Vernon in the lead, 14-12 right now.
Matt Meyer will release from about the 31. Heavy rush. Kruger to the 35, but no further. And so, 65 yards away is Iowa Falls to keep this game alive.
Gary McElmurray was hoping turnaround was fair play. Last year, it was Mount Vernon that blocked the punt, and that was the difference in the game, 6-0. Here, he was hoping his team could block a punt late in the game and perhaps help his team on to victory.
1st and 10, 2:17 and counting. Nope.
Wow, Stensland doing a great job. His threat to run is what enabled number 13, Ben Armitage, to get open, because the defense had to come up and honor Stensland's running ability, and that's when Armitage broke open, but unable to throw a strong pass, unfortunately.
Those are the numbers on Aaron Stensland.
And the interception, one of those interceptions hurting his team's chances as it went for a touchdown.
It's the margin of difference. Whoa, and in heavy traffic on the blitz, on the heavy rush for Mount Vernon. Matt Stewart.
There's some confusion in Iowa Falls on that play.
Yep.
The snap count, the center snapped the ball before all the linemen were going. See it there, they weren't really ready to go. Slow movement by the offensive line. They weren't able to block well on that, and now it's third and a long way.
Yeah, 3rd and 19. Stensland way upstairs looking for Kruger. Busted up.
Kruger actually turning into the defender on that play, going up there with Weisler. Weisler had a better chance at it. Stensland, very strong arm, kind of overthrew his receiver, and Kruger just had to do all he could just to knock it away and make sure Weisler didn't come down with it. See a strong arm there by Stensland.
That'll bring up 4th and 19 with 1:27 remaining.
Long ball just has not been open for Iowa Falls today. Every time they've run it, they've been throwing it into double coverage. So 4th down and 19, ironically, I believe it's Mount Vernon that calls the timeout, wants to talk about it, set up their defense. And as we come down here with a minute 27 left, I think, Mike, it's very important to remember that Rick Arenas won the state championship last year on this field with a field goal for a 22-21 win over Westbred Hancock, and ironically, it's his foot which is the difference again this year. By being able to kick those extra points and boot them through, you put a lot of pressure on Iowa Falls having to go for the two-pointer, and when you have a defense as strong as Mount Vernon's, that's playing into their hands. So Rick Arenas, right now, perhaps the difference maker in the second consecutive state championship, perhaps, for Mount Vernon.
Line of scrimmage is the 26. This will be the final offensive play of the 1994 season for the Iowa Falls Cadets if they don't get to the 45-yard line for the first down. 4th and 19. 1:27 remains. Iowa Falls trailing Mount Vernon 14-12. Wide right is Kruger. Wide left is Bloom. Stensland sets up at the 20. Busted up, Matt Meyer. And Mount Vernon can smell it.
Well, double coverage again. Meyer was there as well as Weisler. Just trying to hang it up. Nothing fancy. They've been running this play all day long, and Iowa Falls has not been able to come down with one. And that's because Mount Vernon has been able to have double coverage. And Kruger doing all he can. But most of the time, Kruger's simply in a defensive mode on those passes.
Iowa Falls out of timeouts. And 80 seconds away is Mount Vernon. There's down number 1, and you can strike another 30 seconds off the clock.
So, tough loss for Iowa Falls, who dominated the second half and will have outgained Mount Vernon in this one. And they definitely fought hard and were the equal of Mount Vernon today. It just came up a little bit short on the scoreboard.
There's down 2, and you can strike another 30. 48, 47, 46. And you'll be able to hear the countdown from the Mustang fans below us. Jim Bellamy is about to claim his 3rd state championship for Mount Vernon. In 74, in 93, and in 94, that makes it a back-to-back championship effort for the Mustang. 20 seconds and counting. Everybody from Mount Vernon's on their feet. There's the hardware, and the celebration begins. As the players break out onto the field, Jim Bellamy and the Mustangs from Mount Vernon put the lid on this one, and your new 2A champion is the champion from 1993. Mount Vernon 14, Iowa Falls 12. We'll be right back after these messages and a word from your local station.
Hello, Iowans. Max here for the Iowa Lottery's 10 new scratch games. No need for cue cards. Play Hula-de-Hoop.
Hoop-de-doo.
Queen of England.
Queen of Hearts.
Cool Country Cats.
Cool Country Cash.
Boingo Boingo.
Bonus Bingo.
High Rollover.
High Roller.
Croquette.
Roulette.
Megaphone.
Mega Bingo.
Maniac.
Zodiac.
Seasoning Salt.
Season's Greetings.
And my favorite, Max Money.
Mad Money.
11 fun new games.
10 new games.
Well, can't a fellow make one little mistake?
Play the newest scratch games from the Iowa Lottery and have more fun for the money.
You're gonna see the light. We're gonna see you through. You know we do things right. We're always there for you.
Wherever Iowans gather, more are covered by the plans of Blue Cross and Blue Shield than any other.
Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues. Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues.
At last, the whole idea of satellite television has come down to earth. Introducing PrimeStar. PrimeStar sends the best of cable, pro sports, and hit movies to these new small dishes. There's no equipment to buy or maintain. PrimeStar's a service that does it all. All starting at the down-to-earth price of about $1 a day. PrimeStar, now coming to your area.
This presentation is brought to you by the Allied Group, one statement, one company, and premier service you can trust. And by First Star Bank, smart local money management.
Pretty good little football game, a defensive struggle. And when the dust settles, we've got the Mustangs beating the Cadets, Mount Vernon 14-12 on Iowa Falls. And a new state champion is crowned. 1994 version is Mount Vernon. The Cadets will take home a trophy for second place, and Jim Bellamy and the Mustangs will take the presentation now for the first place trophy. Let's pick it up with Mo Kelly. So the hardware is headed back to Mount Vernon, the Class 2A championship. And we are number one. Indeed, you hear that from the Mount Vernon folks. Got here the long way. Had to beat the number one team, the number two team, to defend that championship.
And you wonder what the people in Solon are thinking. Of course, this last week, Mount Vernon with an inspired victory, avenging their one loss. Solon beating Mount Vernon earlier in the year. It's always a big rivalry. Two neighboring towns right there. And Jim Bellamy able to pull out the victory last week in the semifinals. And victorious here against a very game Iowa Falls team, which came out and hit very hard. And was definitely the equal of Mount Vernon. The difference, an extra point. Successful conversion on extra points, the difference in this one. And Iowa Falls actually outgaining Mount Vernon. But give all the credit to that man, Jim Bellamy, and his team. Mount Vernon, inspired performance, relying on their defense. In fact, scoring a touchdown with their defense. And great effort by the Mount Vernon team defending their state championship.
Yep, pretty much a defensive struggle for these two championship contenders. Indeed it was. And the turnovers were the margin of difference, the ability to capitalize on same, factoring in 2 touchdowns. First, the fumble recovery off the punt that led to the hookup from McDermott to Weisler, and then the interception. And the interception made the difference for Vance Ellison, and that's how you got your 14 points. And a 14-12 victory for the Mount Vernon Mustangs. Coming up now will be the 2A championship game, or the 3A title game, that is. And it's going to be Spencer and South Tama. Spencer, the overachieving team in this state tournament field, is unrated, 10-2. Come from behind Victor and an underdog all the